Welcome to Not Starving Artist, the podcast. I'm your host, Brooke Benson, money coach and equity actor. I am your financial cheerleader, here to help you build your financial confidence and have power over your money. The best part, no budgeting or bi-weekly paychecks required. I went from being a broke BFA grad having weekly panic attacks about money to a financially confident, wealth-building actor and business owner. Money gets to feel fun, simple, and sexy, and I am going to show you how. Hold up, have you registered for my new free training yet? It's called Get 3 Months Ahead on Bills with Fluctuating Income so you can do your art stress-free. The anti-budget money strategy for creatives, and it's happening on June 1st. I am going to walk you through why budgeting ruined my mental health and my artistic work as a creative. I'm going to teach you the 4-step process in the anti-budget money strategy. And I'm going to talk about how to get 3 months ahead on bills with fluctuating income and why this is the most important first step. And right after the training on June 1st, doors are going to open to my brand new group program, Cashed Up Creatives, which is the financial education your BFA never gave you. And it's helping creatives hit their money goals without budgeting or bi-weekly paychecks. Now, you want to be registered for the training because only people registered for the training will get access to a free bonus when you join Cashed Up Creatives in the first 48 hours. You're going to get a free 30-minute one-on-one money strategy call with me to map out your personalized money flow method that's going to help you get 3 months ahead on bills no matter what your financial situation is. So make sure you're registered. A link is in the show notes and I will see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. We are on part 2 of a 6-part series, Lessons from a Cashed Up Creative. And today's lesson is why you don't need to be type A to be good at money. And this is a lesson from a cashed up creative because with so many of us creatives, we don't always have the most neurotypical brains. We also tend to have more fluid thinking, tend to be a little more type B. A lot of us aren't really great at big long form math, right? As is no one who didn't major in math and it doesn't make you excited to think about math, right? And also in addition to that, so many of us, there are mental health stuff that we're dealing with, anxiety, depression, OCD, so many different types of neurodivergent brains, right? And so a normal brain, hard quote, doesn't really exist, right? Every one of us has a very nuanced brain, but for creatives specifically, these things tend to be a bigger part of our life. And so allowing your brain to be welcome into the financial space and you allowing that to be a thought you have, right? Of my brain isn't a liability, it's an asset. My brain can be good at money even if I can't do it how other people do it. That is a huge lesson for you to learn. Now, there's a second piece of this where there's actual strategy to help simplify it and to make it work for creative brains who don't want to sit in spreadsheets and do math or who are disorganized, all of that. And everything I've listed too, all of the different types of brains and things that I've struggled with, these are all things that either I have struggled with or my clients have struggled with or that we have used as reasons to tell ourselves that financial wellness is gonna be harder for us. And so when you decide that your brain isn't wrong and that you just need a different system, your world is going to break open when it comes to striving towards financial wellness, having financial wellness, getting 3 months ahead on bills, stacking the savings account, having a full retirement account. Those things can only happen when you start telling yourself, it's okay that I hate budgeting because there's a way for me to manage my money that doesn't require that. Because at the end of the day, you only have 2 options. One, you can feel shitty about the fact that you can't do money the hard quote normal way, or you find a way that works for you. Those are the only 2 options because not having your money shit together is not an option because money is going to be a part of your life until you die. She is actually going to follow you past the grave because she's going to be the one paying for your casket and your funeral, right? So money's the longest relationship you're going to have. So not prioritizing her, not making this relationship a priority in your life is not an option because you have art to make. You have lives to change. You have oceans to skinny dip in. You have life to live. And all of that requires financial wellness. All of that requires money. So you need to get cashed up ASAP. Okay. So anything that your brain is telling you that like why you're always going to be bad at money or why it's harder for you, I want you to write a list of those things down. Like, what are you telling yourself is making it harder for you to get your money shit together? So I have anxiety, and money is a really easy place for anxiety to latch itself onto. So strict budgeting and meticulous tracking and knowing where every dollar was going and having such a white knuckle grip and awareness around my dollars was actually fueling my anxiety, not eliminating it. So for the people who are like, oh, my budget just makes me feel so at ease, like I know where everything is going, I was like, what the fuck do you actually mean? Are you kidding me? You're not having panic attacks about like how you don't have any wiggle room with your dollars because every dollar actually has a job, and like what if, and then like that it would spiral me into panic attacks. And so that way of doing money wasn't going to work for me. And then I felt shame about having that anxiety because I was mad at my anxiety that it was hurting my financial wellness. So then it's like I piled weight on top of my anxiety, which then just made me more anxious, right? Like it was an anxiety downward spiral, like one of those whirlpools in the ocean that just sucks you in. That's what was happening. And so my brain was like, okay, Brooke, we have two options. You either just keep going down this path or you figure out something else, because your anxiety isn't just going to magically poof go away one day, right? My business coach talks about this all the time of like, these parts of you are going to come with you, right? Like my anxiety will be with me. She's always been with me, right? She's going to be there. And so instead of being mad at her and like making her yell at me even more because I'm shaming her and mad that she exists, it's like, hey, I'm going to give you a system that actually makes it really hard for you to attach yourself to and actually gives you a lot of comfort and ease so you can be quieter when you do pop up, right? And so that's what I created. That is what the money flow method is. And the money flow method is a simple cash flow system that, one, works for fluctuating income. So I also stopped feeling like my fluctuating income was a problem. And number two, it only took me an hour a month to manage, which was great because for someone like me who anxiety just really loved to attach itself to the numbers, I'm actually not doing any of like the math or the management or any of that tactical stuff more than once a month. So my anxiety literally doesn't have something to like sink its teeth into every single day, like going through a budget and tracking things. So that's another reason that the money flow method is built the way it is. This system was built for hella simplicity too, for my people who are not organized, right? You feel disorganized and you don't like feel like you could manage a spreadsheet, great, you don't have to. For my people who aren't great at math, great, you don't have to do any complicated math. Your bank accounts are doing them for you. The automation of your money is doing it for you, right? And so you don't have any excuses anymore, right? Of like, yeah, this was built for you. I have a client who she couldn't get her Adderall prescription for a couple of months. And so she needed this money management system that she could still manage even when she couldn't get her prescription filled. So even when her brain felt like extremely all over the place and disorganized, it was okay because her money life didn't have to suffer because of how her brain worked. Do you see how we don't want to accidentally create a correlation between like how your brain is, how you were built, who you are as a person, and like how you get to be financially? It's just going to create this war between you and yourself of like, see, brain, this is why we're mad at you because you're hurting our money. No, what if your money just gets to be good no matter what? And you can be like, hey, brain, I see you. We're going to work with you, right? Or we're going to have compassion for what you're going through. I also have a couple of clients who have diagnosed depression. And so when you're in that kind of state, you sometimes all you can focus on is making sure you feed yourself that day, right? And so If you have a money management system that's requiring you to track your spending every day and requiring you to stick to your budget, when what you need in that moment is to get whatever dopamine you can into your body, which could look like DoorDash because it's easy, it makes you happy, and it's the only way that you'll be able to get food in your mouth that day, I'm sorry, but your budget has to go out the fucking window. You're not going to track. And then when you are out of that wave and you go back and look at your money, you're going to get mad at your depression, right? Because it caused a certain thing to happen with your money that you didn't plan for or didn't want, or now you're behind on your tracking. As I'm talking about that, it just feels so heavy. Jesus Christ, can we not create that relationship with you and what your brain is doing and what your money life gets to be? Create a system and the money flow method was built to withstand avoidance. Now that, what I just described, isn't avoidance, right? But it was built to withstand avoidance so that if you don't have your financial CEO party one month, right? Or if you weren't able to check your bank accounts for a couple of weeks, it's okay. Your money life didn't crumble into shambles. It didn't crumble into pieces. This is also why getting 3 months ahead on bills is the first step, and it's imperative, because if that happens and you don't look at your money for a month, it doesn't matter. It's okay, because no matter what, you still have 3 months of bills in the bank. So you know you're going to have food, shelter, and water. If you haven't listened to part 1 of this series, go back and listen to part 1 about how getting 3 months ahead on bills is going to change your life. I dive much deeper into that there. I have some clients who also, this isn't necessarily how your brain works, but clients who have kids and your brain changes right after you have kids, and it's being pulled in a million different directions, and you have so many other things to think about, and your brain is just fuller, right? Your system needs to be simple enough to fit into all the other stuff that's come into your life. I want you to think about money management like we think about workouts and physical health. I feel like it's pretty widely accepted now that there isn't one workout that's the best for every single person, or one way of being healthy that is the best for every single person. So there are some people who are really excited about HIIT workouts. Some people really love to rock climb. Some people really love bar. Some people really love dance classes. Some people really love yoga. Some people really love lifting heavy weights. Some people just love walking all the time. There's so many different kinds of workouts and ways to move your physical body that are going to be so healthy for different kinds of people, right? One is not superior than the other. What's important is that you have something that you actually enjoy doing that works for your body. I physically can't do HIIT workouts because of some injuries that I have, right? And so instead of being mad at my body that I have these injuries that don't allow me to do HIIT workouts, I'm going to give it workouts that actually really work for it. So I'll do some heavy strength training, but only on specific parts of my body. And then I walk a fuck ton and I do yoga. And guess what? My body doesn't scream at me, which has allowed me to have so much more compassion around my injuries and release some anger and frustration around how I developed those injuries. And so if I kept trying to force myself to do the HIIT workouts because all the workout bros are HIIT workouts, that's the only way to be the healthiest and have the best heart health and gain the muscle and all this stuff, I would just continue to feel shit about myself. And then what that would lead to is shame, and then I would stop moving my body, and then I'm now worse off than if I had just done the thing that works for me. Same with money management. Budgeting does not make you superior. Tracking your spending and being super frugal is not the only way to have financial wellness. It's not. There are so many other ways. You can have a simple cash flow system that lets you hit your goals while also letting you spend without a budget and spend guilt-free. Spend on stuff that might be seen as frivolous, again, hard quotes, in other people's eyes. That can all fit into your money management system. You don't have to log into your bank accounts every single day, right? You can manage it one time a month and then be done with it. So that can also equal financial wellness. So yes, it's about having the system that actually makes that a reality, but starting with the thought in your brain, my brain is not wrong, the system is. I am not wrong. The structure is wrong. The systems you are using or have been trying to use were not built for you. They weren't meant for you, and it's making you feel bad. This is like a a fish being told it's bad because it can't climb a tree, but it just needs to get in the water, right? I don't remember exactly how that quote goes, but this is the same kind of thing. Like, you have this undercover financial badassery that hasn't been unleashed yet because you've been trying to shove yourself into the frugal budgeting hole that you were never meant to be shoved into. The system that I teach inside of Cashed Up Creatives, which is my new group program, doors are opening in June, right after my free training, which if you haven't signed up yet, go get registered for it. It's called How to Get 3 Months Ahead on Bills with Fluctuating Income So You Can Do Your Art Stress-Free, the anti-budget money strategy for creatives. Go get signed up. But the system that I teach inside of that program, it was built for creative brains, for brains that fall outside of the neurotypical standard or whatever we consider as normal in the money world, right? It was built for creatives by a creative. And as a reminder, just because your husband works in finance doesn't mean he's inherently better at money. Just because your best friend loves spreadsheets doesn't mean she's more likely to have a good relationship with money. Just because your sister is a math whiz doesn't mean she deserves more financial abundance than you. None of these things are required for you to have a delicious, simple, safe, sexy relationship with money. You deserve financial wellness, no matter what your strengths are. Thanks so much for tuning in. Come join me on Instagram for more on how to build a simple, sexy relationship with your money. My Instagram handle is @NotStarvingArtists. And if you want to dive deeper with me, head to the show notes to learn more about one-on-one coaching. If you love this episode, subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend that you want to get rich with.